Hello, welcome to Authors in Focus. My name is Charles Chapman, and my co-host is Chandra Adams. And today we're here with Miss Cherie Johnson. I'm sure you've heard of her before. She is an actress, a writer, and a producer. After her role in the 1980 sitcom Punky Brewster, she co-starred in another popular 1990 sitcom you may have heard about called Family Matters. She was the best friend of Laura Winslow. And more recently, Cherie wrote, produced, and starred in her own movie, I Do, I Did, as you may see on BET or other stations. And along with a list of other available and upcoming DVDs, she's a bad woman. We're going to find out more about her. Now, Cherie has embarked on a new career, and that is of author. And with the help of J.M. Benjamin of New Quality Publishing, we'll talk more about that soon. She is not only Punky's and Laura's best friend, but we hope at our interview that she'll become our best friend here at Authors in Focus. And for now, let's talk to Miss Cherie Johnson. How you doing, Cherie?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. How did it all begin for you? How did you get that role on Punky Brewster?
Wow, my uncle, David Duclon, is the creator of the show. And he wrote my name in the script because he thought it would be cute to see his niece in the show. And I had the idea when I read it. Great, he gave me a job. Long story short, he had no intention on me doing it. I auditioned 7 times, and finally the head of NBC at the time, Mr. Brandon Tartikoff, who's now deceased, told him to give your niece the job.
Okay, well that's good. So you got her first job.
Yes.
I wish we all could start that way.
First audition, first job.
What was it like? I mean, of course, we all know the story about Punky Brewster. Once it hit NBC, the show just took off automatically. It was skyrocketing. And, you and Miss Fry, definitely, that show was taking off. So with that success at such an early age, how did you handle the pressure of being a child star?
I didn't feel any pressure. When we did Punky, I had no idea that people all over the world were watching us. Soleil Moon Frye was my best friend at the time, so I was just going to work with my favorite person, who was my uncle, and playing with my best friend. The whole popularity and famous and all that kind of stuff, I honestly am just starting to understand that. I didn't get it till I was about 30.
It's nice to have you on the show, Cherie.
Thank you.
So, jumping ahead a few years, you're on Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about what it was like working with that cast.
Family Matters was really fun. I had known Jalil for several years. Darius McQuarrie and I, who played Eddie, we had the same agent. So it was really like a family matter. I was going to work with my friends. Once again, my uncle was one of the executive producers. My aunt was his assistant, and my brother was the cameraman. My mother was the caterer. It was a family matter.
It was a family situation,
right, all the way around. The guy who played my boyfriend on the show, Waldo Faldo, had also been on Punky Brewster. So I have known him since we were 8 years old.
It's a very comfortable environment for you then.
Absolutely.
You were right at home.
10 years I got to go to work and see some of my favorite people every day.
Beautiful. See, in addition to your television shows, I understand you have dabbled in the movie business. Would you tell us about your movie?
After Family Matters ended, nobody wanted to give the child star a job because they only saw me as Laura's best friend or Punky's friend. And for about a year I auditioned and couldn't get a job to save my life. I got one job, and that was on the Parkers. And I sat back and I realized the only way I'm going to make my mark in this business the way I want to is if I create my own opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Makes
so,
sense.
yeah, I had a bad breakup. I was with a man for 7 years. He cheated on me and had a baby with a groupie. My friend Sharice Edie and I started writing just as little revengeful jokes. Before I knew it, I had the script written, and it was called I Do, I Did. I gave it to a friend of mine. His name is Brian Hooks. And I asked him to please correct my spelling and just, make sure the story flowed. It took about 4 months. Brian had never gotten back to me. I was like, wow, the script must have sucked. He called me back and said, hey, are you still interested in doing your movie? I said, absolutely. He said, cool, I'll give you the money to do it. When do you want to start production?
Very nice.
Very nice.
It's a blessing.
Oh, good. Now, you've been in Hollywood for such a long time. And, of course, being in this industry, how hard is it to stay in Hollywood, much less getting in?
It's one of the hardest industries you can imagine. The statistics are you get one job out of 100 auditions. So that's 99 no's before you hear a yes. And then to go in and try to create your own and move into an industry that is really developed for big companies, middle-aged white men.
Right.
It's a barrier that you have to break down.
Okay. A side question to that. Now, you started with your SAG card. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And even though we got SAG card and you were available to be on all these different shows, it was still hard, wasn't it? Doors was closed.
Absolutely. I mean, the same thing about being in the union. The only big pressure about having that SAG card is even if you're not getting a job, you still have to pay to hold on to your SAG card. So, yeah.
So you pay dues on the SAG card?
Absolutely, twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, so with that in mind, I'm sorry.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
So with that in mind, do you find it's necessary to create your own content rather than just depending on the big studios to help you out?
Absolutely, especially for black women. There are more jobs for black men, but black women, there might be, let's say, 10 roles for us a year. There's over 350 black women that are holding a SAG card now, not to mention the women who are not in the union. We're all auditioning for the same thing. It's an impossible dream.
So you will see the same actresses over and over again for whatever part that you're.
Oh yeah, we sit in the lobby and fraternize.
Wow.
You know, at parties, sometimes it's like a nice reunion.
Okay.
Because I've known some of the women that I've auditioned with. Gabrielle Union and I have been auditioning with each other since we were teenagers. Cherie Johnson is actually my cousin, K-Fed's baby mama, but she was also on Moesha.
You know who she is.
Yeah. Our parents used to send us together because it would save gas.
Okay.
And we used to pray, let one of us get it. That
Yes,
we could pay for
definitely.
that. Right. But we still, like, my cousin and I meet each other in the audition waiting room and then go to lunch after. So she's been working since she was 3. I've been working since I was 6. We still, I have audition today for this, and you gonna be there? Can we do lunch?
Yeah.
Very much like that.
Some hardworking women.
Thank you.